Are you worthy of her? Do you deserve the love she brings? All those who desire of her must desire discipline. It's a blessing to know her. All the things you can't desire don't compare to her. She's wisdom. Kings may mention of her. They wrote songs and proverbs of her. Forever she will remain. Wisdom is her name. So just meditate on the words that I say. Don't you know wisdom is achievement?
Shalom, Israel. Welcome to Esther's Kitchen. I'm Esther. And today we have several projects going on. We're going to be doing some dehydrating. We're going to be doing some pickling. And I'm going to have some assistance today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Shay. It's going to help me a little bit. So she's going to help out a little bit. And then I'm also going to have my niece, Shania is going to be help out a little bit. So we're going to have several projects going on at one time today. For those of you who are just tuning in, my motivation for this videos are because there's not many of us that is teaching each other or sharing our knowledge about food preservation, dehydration, canning, and so on and so forth. So that's my motivation for sharing these videos. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the sweet potatoes. We got a Shay here. She peeled my sweet potatoes for me. So that's the first stage.
You know what I'm saying?
And so she did assist with that. I think she's about to leave me, so I'm on my own with the rest of the process.
That's
But
cake
you know,
bake.
hey, we do what we can. And then we got Shania here. She is scraping the carrots. All these carrots we got from the food pantry, and they've been sitting. We had to throw some away because they've been sitting too long. But we are salvaging the rest, and we are going to make some pickled carrots with some jalapenos we got, and some onions and garlic. I got a good recipe I'm going to show y'all, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to pickle these carrots, and we're going to can them and put them away for a long-term storage. All right, the sweet potatoes that is Shay has peeled for us, I'm going to slice them on the Mandoline. Then I'm going to use my other device and cut them into nice cubes. So I'm going to put them on the dehydrator, dry them out, and store them in a vacuum sealed mason jar. And that is going to be good for us to like toss into some stew or rehydrate them and use them for some type of saute. So that's what we're going to do with the sweet potatoes. So that is our two projects for tonight. And we're going to come back and show you our progress. Alright? Thanks. So she's decided to do a little bit more, and she's slicing them on the junior Mandoline right now. So she's doing pretty good there. Just wanted to see you in action. Right, yeah, so she's slicing them up.
Oh, am I supposed to go now?
See what I gotta deal with. See what I gotta deal with. She's supposed to be learning for her future Lord and showing that she know how to do this stuff.
I do know how to
I'm
do
trying
it.
to teach her some stuff here, okay? Okay, all right. So what she's doing, she's slicing them up. And we have us some nice, they're not really thin because what we're gonna do, let me show you what we're gonna do. So this is what we're gonna do. This is another tool of mine. I will put this in the comment section, a link to where you can get this from. This makes everything easier when slicing and dicing and stuff. So we're gonna make this in cubes. So she's cut this small enough, you know, thick enough. We can, actually, let me get a smaller piece. We can probably break this in half. We probably cut it in half. Okay, so you got your half a piece. Put that right in there. Damn. Now you got some nice cubes that's gonna go on the dehydrator. Okay. So we're gonna do that. There we go. So that's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna wake the neighbors.
We're gonna when she gets done with all of those, that's what we're gonna do. Bam. That makes it so much easier. I told y'all I like my gadgets. I like my gadgets. See how well we work together. Now look at all of those nice sweet potatoes. So we're gonna finish up this project, this process here.
They look like cheese.
It does. And then we're gonna put these on the dehydrator and we're gonna dry them, and they're gonna be some nice sweet potato chunks. We're gonna put in the mason jar, vacuum seal, and whenever you're getting ready to do some stew, stir fry, or whatever you want to use some sweet potatoes for, you got them in long-term storage. So while she's doing that, and this is on the dehydrator, we're gonna do some pickling. Okay. Alright. So all praises. We will be back shortly. Alright, so now while they are preparing the sweet potatoes, I am gonna cut up the onions and my jalapenos for and the garlic as well. We got garlic, onions, jalapenos. I'm gonna go ahead and start slicing this stuff up for the pickled carrots. Okay. Let me see. Actually, I think that's too thick. So you can adjust this. I want this thinner. Okay. Alright, so that's more joyous when you have help. Alright, so we got real nice thin slices here of onions. Okay, so yeah. So now this is what the slices look like. Oh my goodness. Real nice thin slices. Versus this right here. I would do this if I was gonna chop some onions, but just want some nice thin slices. Okay, so I'm gonna put this. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I don't want whole slices, so I slice them and I'm gonna cut them into some. I don't need them diced, just some smaller slices. So now you got some nice smaller onion slices to go in the jar. So I'm gonna put that here. Okay. So Abigail is home. All right, so we're gonna slice this, and sometimes I just turn it. Shalom. All right, so I just turned it, and I got my slices. And I just keep doing that with this one little onion.
Hello, me
And then this can go in the trash. So, Shalom, she made it home. So I have another assistant.
Oh.
See how they do me? See how I get them out the kitchen?
You know what I was thinking?
Alright, so we got like 3 onions sliced up here. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and slice up our jalapenos. I doubled the recipe. It only called for like 1.5 onions. But I'll give you I'll give you the recipe. So, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and slice up these jalapenos. You should probably use gloves, especially if you're squeamish. I'm not gonna use the Mandoline for this. I'm just gonna chop them up, and you are gonna keep the seeds with it. So I'm just gonna slice these up. Okay. And then I'm gonna get them all chopped up and put them in this bowl here. So I'll be right back when I have them all chopped up. Alright, so we are about done chopping up our jalapeno. And I don't have any gloves. If you don't have any gloves, or if you're worried about, you know, your hands burning or anything like that, you can always use like a sandwich bag or something like that. I'm just really careful. I don't put my hands in my face or anything. Once I'm done, I wash my hands really good. And pickle juice is actually good for like getting onion smells off and stuff like that. So you can, like I said, use a like a Ziploc bag. Okay, so just to show you that, but I'm not gonna do that because it gets in my way. But it works if you don't have any gloves. So, and with the jalapenos, these are fresh jalapenos. I love fresh jalapenos. You want to work quickly. It's just like using pepper, like black pepper in your food, cayenne pepper. It will get in your sinuses and make you cough and everything. So this is all of the fresh jalapenos. We got them all sliced up, and we got our onions here. Next step is to go ahead and get our garlic cloves ready. Then we're gonna check on the carrots, get our brine together, and go for this. So by the way, when I dry my garlic, this is the same process that I go through. I'll take a whole bag of garlic, and I'll take them apart like this, and I'll just sit and I'll crush them. And I'll get them all like this, and then I'll go back over them, I'll mince them, and then I will put them on the dehydrator, just like that. So it takes some time, it takes patience, and it could be tedious, but it's worth it in the long run. And by the way, I do have fresh garlic here, but I have dehydrated garlic as well. I could use in this recipe, but I got fresh garlic. So anytime if I have fresh garlic, I'm gonna use it. And I save my dehydrated garlic for if I'm out and I can't get to the store or what have you. But I got fresh garlic, so I'm gonna use fresh garlic in this recipe. I also have dehydrated onions I could use in this recipe, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna mix all this together in some vinegar and water, and I'm gonna like cook it in a pot. So anytime you add your dehydrated produce, or dehydrated food to hot water, it's gonna rehydrate, and you're gonna get all of that flavor in your pot, with whatever you're cooking. So you can, like I said, use dehydrated garlic and onions with this. And give me a minute, and I will do a video, and I'm gonna make a dish with with some dehydrated food for you, so you can see how beneficial it is to dehydrate your food, and how easy it is and convenient it is for you to use again, especially when you're busy. You're a busy woman, and you still want to have fresh, good cooked food for your family. So I will show you that, and I will make it my business to show you that real soon. How to make a dish with everything that I've dehydrated. Okay, so bear with me. I just wanted to give you that little tad bit of information. I'm going to continue to get all my garlic together, and I'll be right back, and we'll move on to the next stage. Okay. All right, so dealing with garlic every now and then, like I've cut up some more. I'm gonna go one more, I don't know, a few more cloves here. But dealing with garlic, lots of garlic can be sticky. So every now and then you want to just kind of refresh your area. You definitely want to wash your hands. And then, rinse off your cutting board, your knife, because everything gets it gets sticky. So let me see. I think I'm gonna do about 5 more of these. Okay. And then I'll be back, because I think I want to make sure that I have plenty of garlic to match up with how much carrots, jalapenos, and onions I have. I'm not gonna come back and do this again. If I do have extra, I will put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'll put them in the refrigerator and save them for another recipe another day. Okay, so I'll be back. Alright, so now we have all these carrots. We're gonna slice them diagonally. Okay, so we've kind of scrape the outer portion off of them, and just go from here and kind of slice them at a diagonal. I want them a little bit, I don't want them too thick, but a little bit thick. So let's see how this gonna work. And since these are not whole carrots, I'm gonna have to be careful. Alright. So yep, this is how they're coming out. And it'd be a little easier if they were whole carrots, but hey, I'm not complaining. We're gonna get this done. So bear with me, guys. I'm gonna get these sliced up, and I'll be right back. All right. So for project number 2, my assistant Janelle has finished the job that Ishay started and chopped up all of the sweet potatoes. We are running them through the water, one last rinse. And then all we're going to do is put these on the dehydrator trays and run the dehydrator overnight, and we're good to go. These are going to be good to go in some soup today. If you want them to go into some soup today, you can have some. Alright, so yeah. So we might take some out for Sister Abigail, daughter Abigail. If she want her a little bit to make her some soup with, that's fine. She can demonstrate for us what kind of soup we can make with sweet potato soup. Okay. And then we can try that same dish again using dehydrated sweet potato cubes. Okay? Alright, so we'll be right back with them spread out on the dehydrator. Alright, so here we have all of our ingredients to make this authentic pickled Mexican pickled carrots. We have our carrots, we got our onions, we got fresh jalapenos, we got garlic, and I do have some here chopped. They call for smash, but I figured I'd chop them. And I pretty much double the recipe, so we're going to be winging it. We got bay leaves. The only thing that makes this Mexican is it calls for Mexican oregano. I don't have that. I'm going to use regular oregano. You can use vegetable oil, but it does. It calls for vegetable oil. You can use olive oil too. I read up on that. So, and then white vinegar. Okay, we got peppercorns here and the bay leaves. All right, so let's go ahead and get everything in the pot, and I'll be right back. So this is what I have in my pot. I have the vinegar, and I cut up a lot of garlic. I like garlicky, and they asked for like 5 cloves. I have a lot more vegetables, so, and about 6 bay leaves. Of course, you see I probably got about 14, 20 in here. And peppercorns, they call for like 10 peppercorns. Y'all see all the peppercorns I got in here, right? So I don't know. Maybe because I'm Judah, I like seasoning. I'm not shy with my seasoning, and I'm using a lot of vegetables, so I pretty much kind of tripled everything. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil. It smells good, and of course garlic makes everything even that much better. So I think it's gonna be all right. So I'm waiting for this to come to a boil, and then I'm gonna add my carrots, onions, and jalapenos. We'll tell you this recipe. You can just jar it, put it in a jar, and put it in the refrigerator. But I'm gonna can this, and I do have some pint-sized jars that I'm gonna go ahead and get ready while I'm doing this, so I can go ahead and get ready to can them. Notice I am using my pressure canner. I double as a pot as well, and because this is so acidity with the vinegar and everything, I'm going to be able to use a water bath for this and not have to use my pressure canner. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that. But so far, this is the liquid the vinegar, water, your seasoning, the oregano, salt, everything in the pot ready for it to come to a boil, and I'm gonna add my vegetables and we'll be back after that. So shalom, while we are waiting for our liquids to boil for the pickled carrots, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put our sweet potatoes on the dehydrator. Okay, so we just gonna spread these out. Y'all seen me do this before. So we're just gonna make sure they evenly, these are nice cubes. My daughter Abigail and Shania have been already chewing on some of them. They say they're pretty good. So we're just gonna load these trays up. It's like 9 trays. And I'm gonna put them in the dehydrator. So I'm gonna get these loaded up and I'll be right back. All right, so everything's come to a boil. I've added the vegetables, I've added the carrots, the onions, and the jalapeno peppers. 2 things, I was corrected. I'm sorry, Issachar, that I guess it was not just the Mexican oregano that makes this authentic Mexican pickled carrots. Ooh, excuse me, I have never done this before. So, but anyway, but yeah, it's all the ingredients. So, oh, Abigail be coming around here dropping some knowledge. So, and also, she encouraged me to add some cloves. So not only do we have a whole black peppercorns, we have some cloves in this. And I can tell you right now, this smells delicious. This smells so good. So I've added everything, and we're gonna let this simmer on a medium to low heat for 15 minutes. While we're doing that, I'm about done putting my sweet potatoes on the dehydrator. So I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna get my mason jars ready. I do have some pint-sized mason jars. I'm gonna clean those, get those sterilized. So in the 15 minutes when this is done, I'm gonna put them directly in the sterilized mason jars and put them in the water canner. Okay, so be right back. All right, shalom. So we're back. So we have our pickled Mexican carrots. We got our water canner here. It's not completely come to a boil, and we have our lids that need to be boiled. That's going to activate the seal. And we have our pint jars that's been cleaned, and they've been over here sterilized in hot water. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and put this, we're going to start canning our jars, and we're going to put them in the can. Okay? I don't know if any of you have got some carrots from the school, but this is a good recipe. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link in the description box. You want to make sure you leave an inch headspace in a jar. You want to have some liquid in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill all these up. And then I'm going to go around and make sure that they don't have any bubbles in them. This is a good serving size for a person. That's why I didn't want to use my quart size jars. good thing about this is when you use high acidic food, you can just water bathe it. So that's what the water bather is for. And the process is not as long. So I did let this cool some. It's not really hot. Make sure you got some liquid in there. And you want to make sure that your jars they're not super hot, but I did kind of sterilize them so that you're not putting hot liquid into cold jars. You don't want to do that. I am so glad that I made this recipe. I added extra because I had more carrots and everything, carrots and jalapenos. Like I said, the carrots I got from the food pantry at the school. And we had a huge bag, so many carrots that I had to throw some away, unfortunately. And then we end up, we got fresh jalapenos from somebody that was not far away from the school that was giving away free produce. So we got like a whole box of, actually 2 boxes of sweet potatoes, onions, jalapenos, and so that was just sitting in the refrigerator like, okay, I gotta do something with this. So everything worked out. With the onions, and then I had already bought some onions, remember, at my trip from Sam's Club. So we had everything we needed, except for I had to go out and buy some vinegar and my peppercorn, and I bought whole cloves. Yeah. So just the pickling ingredients pretty much is all I needed, but all the produce was pretty much free. But I did not want to go to waste. This is good, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I tasted it. Like I was telling my little assistant, I tasted. I feel like Mama Odie on Princess and the Frog. Ooh, that's got some sound to it. Like that. Ooh, yep. Sound to it. So I'm trying to make sure I get even amount of everything in there. I might have filled that up too much. Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna use some tongue and get some of that out. I have to do 2 go rounds. Maybe some of this is gonna have to go in the refrigerator. And you can definitely do that. You don't have to water can these. You can just put them in a jar and you can refrigerate them. If you don't have this many carrots and jalapenos and stuff like that, you can definitely just put them in a jar and put them in the refrigerator. But I'm going for long-term storage. So got 2 more jars. This handy dandy tool comes in your pressure canner kit. You want to make sure that there's no bubbles. You want to make sure that there's about an inch head space. That looks good. I'm also going to do this to see if I can squeeze a little bit more juice that's left in my pot. Yep. See a couple of jars here. Can you see from all the way over there? Come closer. Come closer. I want you to see how I'm pressing down to make sure there's no error. This one might be a little bit too full, and you want to be careful of them getting too full because once they boil, if it is too full, then the juice that's inside is gonna mess up your seal. And I did have an incident where I did can some greens and I seen some juice in my canner that let me know that something did not seal properly, and sure enough, it didn't. And that's okay, because if or when that happens, I mean, hey, you just put that right in the refrigerator and go ahead and eat it. And that's what I did. So you want to make sure that there's no bubbles. That one looks good and full. I see some jars that I can put some more in. Like this one. This one. Alright. I'm so happy. This is my first time doing this pickling and using this recipe. But I am so happy. So I got a little extra juice left in here. And for some of my jars that can use some extra, I'm gonna use the rest of it. So let's put a little bit in there.
Everything we talk, you know we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. We killing it. Israel Africa, you know we building it. Building it. Hypocrite attack, you know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. Chat them a chat, but them no want no drama. Better than put on a millstone in a water. When we step on the scene, everything I get slaughtered. We a flood out the city with the spiritual water. And we a keep the laws, but I pretend them a pretend. You have to get correction, and we not go beg no friend. The works are go declare who God sent. You coulda never lead us straight on a God children. Everything we talk, you know we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. We killing it. Israel Africa, you know we building it. Building it. Hypocrite attack, you know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it.
A real soldier never stray from the mission. When it come to war, we a delete the opposition. Them a snake, them a try to cause division. But Jah recompense.
So now we're gonna use a little bit of vinegar, clean some cloth, and we're gonna make sure that the rims are good and clean, because you don't want anything any juices from your product, from your food, to be on the rim and to mess up the seal.
Everything Everything we talking, how we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. We killing it. Israel have to go, you know we building it. Building it. Hypocrite attack, you know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it.
Chat them a chat, but them no want no drama. Better them put on a millstone in a water. When we step on the scene, everything I get slaughtered. We a flood out the city with the spiritual water. And we a keep the laws, but I pretend them a pretend. You have to get correction, and we not go beg no friend. The works are go declare, oh God said. You coulda never.
And the good thing about water bathing is I'm only gonna put these in, and they only need to be in for 10 minutes. Versus other stuff like my greens that I canned or any kind of meats need to stay in for like 90 minutes. So I'm gonna take my lids out of here. And remember, you wanna sterilize and you wanna boil them because the heat activates the seal.
Everything we talking, how we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. We killing it. Israel have to go, you know we building it. Building it. Hypocrite attack, you know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it.
Chat them a chat, but them no want no drama. Better them put on a millstone in a water. When we step on the scene, everything I get slaughtered. We a flood out the city with the spiritual water. And we a keep the laws, but I pretend them a pretend. You have to get correction, and we not go beg no friend. The works are go declare, oh God said. You coulda never lead us straight, none of God children.
Everything we talking, how we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it.
So now we're gonna go ahead and set these down into the canner. The water is not boiling yet. You wanna put the cans, your jars in right before your water starts to boil. And you always want to have the rack at the bottom. You don't want your jars touching the bottom of the can because they could shatter and break. Not too many. Hey. Can I get one more in here? It ain't looking like it, is it? Nah. Okay. Alright. So, that's okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jars in here. And let me see. Sounds like I should be able to get another one in here. Rearrange this properly. Maybe not. Okay. And then your water. So I need to put more water in here because your water is supposed to come up over the jars about 1 inch, and the water is not doing that. It's close. So what you want to do, you want to add hot water to your pot to make it come over. I've added some more hot water because it's just covering the tips of the water canner. And if you ever have any questions or anything, all of this stuff comes with directions. You know, water should be 1 to 2 inches over jar top. So, you know, it's not that hard. It's not that scary. You know, if you know how to read directions and follow instructions, you can do this. So, yeah, so we filled it up. And you're not supposed to start timing this. You want to process this for 10 minutes. But you want to wait till it comes to a boil first. After it comes to a boil, then you want to start your timer for 10 minutes. Okay? After the 10 minutes is up, you turn it off, kind of let it cool, and then you'll lift the wrap over it. And it's all done. And we'll come back and show you how that looks. So I'm gonna cover this up. I'm gonna let this come to a boil, and then we'll come back.
Everything we talking, know we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. We killing it. Israel have to go, you know we building it. Building it. Hypocrite attack, you know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it.
Chat them a chat, but them no want no drama. Better them put on a millstone in a water. When we step on the scene, everything I get slaughtered. We a flood out the city with the spiritual water. And we a keep the laws, but I pretend them a pretend. You have to get correction, and we not go beg no friend. The works are go declare who God sent. You coulda never lead us straight on a God children.
Everything we talking, know we living it. Living it. Hypocrite attack, we know them living it. Living it. Endurance, how we still in it. Still in it. Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it. We killing it.
Israel have to go, you know we building it.
Building it.
Hypocrite attack, you know them living it.
Living it.
Endurance, how we still in it.
Still in it.
Still in it. Danger boys, we killing it.
I real soldier never.
This is much different than pressure canning. So the pressure canning, you know, it goes for a lot longer, and once you pull them out of the pressure canner, you can still see the bubbling going on inside of the jar. So, but since this is and when you pressure can more low acidic foods like meats, greens, stuff like that. But when you're doing some high acidic foods like tomato sauce, anything with vinegar, when you're pickling and stuff, you can do water bathing. So it's a whole different method. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let these sit and cool. I can see that I'm checking to see if this when you press in the lid, if it's gonna pop back on me, and it's not. So that's a good sign. That means the pressure is gone out of them. Okay. So this is what fit in my water bather, my water canner. 2 jars did not fit, so I got 1 jar for the family and 1 jar for a special guest or a special person. So one person is going to be gifted a jar of the Mexican pickled carrots, and we're gonna have 1 for ourselves. And now they already been going into that jar, so this is gonna be a great treat. We're gonna let this sit. We're not gonna mess with it for another 12 to 24 hours, which will be like in the morning. I'll get up and all of the water will be evaporated off the top of here. I'm gonna take off the lid, the screw band off of it, and make sure that the lid is sealed tight. Okay, so that's the ultimate test. That when you take the band after it's cool and it's set, and you give that everything a chance to really set, you take the band off and you see if you can just remove the lid with your hand. Okay, that's the ultimate test. Once you take the band off and you can't remove it with your hand, you're good to go. Just label them and put them away in a dark, cool place, and they will last you for years to come. And from tasting them, this is definitely going to be something I do again. I will post the recipe in the description box. The recipe was perfect. I doubled it and I added some cloves, which I'll put that in the description box as well. Otherwise, I might take a picture of when everything is done, but other than that, I really appreciate you guys tuning in with me and going through the whole process. I hope that you enjoy. I hope that I was able to share some of my knowledge and experience with you, and that you can take and store some of your own foods in your own home. So please do not forget to like, subscribe, click on notifications so you can know when I do other videos. I do have plenty more in the making. I'm hoping I can get them out fast enough to you. One other thing, I have not been wearing my apron. I need the apron. Okay. So the apron I like. This was a souvenir from Mardi Gras, and I like wearing my apron when I'm around the kitchen, but I don't think this really works. So I need a righteous apron, guys. So if Israel can help me out, y'all can help me out with a righteous apron. Give me some ideas. Put some in the comment box. And I would love to wear your aprons while I'm doing my canning and cooking around my kitchen. I try to preserve my clothes. Oh, this is. You can see I wear this out. Anyway, yeah. We don't want this. This is a souvenir from New Orleans. So I would like a righteous apron. Got any ideas or suggestions? Or you want me to sponsor some of your products? I will be glad to do that. I look forward to hearing from you. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Shalom.
Showed me the fruit of your labor shows. It's evident in everything. You showed us how to keep the laws. Repentance so this kingdom calls. Strengthening the family bond. You showed us we're worthy. We're no longer